In the heart of the mystical kingdom of Elnara, nestled between vast golden fields and emerald forests, a pair of twins were born one stormy night to a humble farmer named Bram and his wife Leora. The newborns, a boy and a girl, were named Eamon and Alara. As the children grew, it became clear that though they shared the same birthday, they were strikingly different. Eamon was strong and broad-shouldered, while Alara was tall, slender, and almost ethereal in her appearance. While Eamon was praised for his robust health and strength, Alara was often the subject of cruel remarks from the villagers. They called her Wisp and Ghost because of her slight frame and delicate features. Her uniqueness, instead of being celebrated, became a point of ridicule. She was ostracized, left out of village games and gatherings, and treated as an oddity. Ilara's solace came in the form of the natural world around her. She had a special gift with plants and animals, something that brought her immense joy and peace. She could coax a flower to bloom with a mere touch and calm an injured animal with just a whisper. But even this remarkable talent did little to endear her to the villagers, who saw her abilities as unnatural and strange. Eamon, her twin, often defended her, standing up against the taunts and bullying, but as they grew older, his protective presence started to wane. One day, a wealthy merchant's daughter named Celeste came to the village. She was beautiful, admired by all, and quickly caught Eamon's eye. The two began courting, and it seemed that Eamon was finally finding happiness. But when Celeste's family learned about Alara, they were horrified. They feared that Alara's oddness would taint their family if Eamon and Celeste married. So, they gave Celeste an ultimatum: end the relationship or be disowned. Devastated, Celeste broke off the relationship with Eamon, explaining her family's concerns about his sister. Eamon, heartbroken and humiliated, began to resent Alara. He started avoiding her, and the bond they once shared began to fray. His grief and anger turned into bitterness, and soon Eamon joined the villagers in their ridicule of Alara, blaming her for all his misfortunes. Despite this, Alara remained kind and gentle, though the pain of her brother's betrayal cut deeply. She withdrew further into her world of nature, finding comfort in the company of animals and the quiet of the forest. But the constant mockery and the loss of her brother's affection weighed heavily on her heart. The kingdom of Elnara was preparing for its centennial festival, a grand celebration that included the selection of a Maiden of the Woods, a title given to the most beautiful and talented young woman in the land. This maiden would represent Elnara in the Great Alliance, a gathering of all the kingdoms where alliances were forged and peace maintained. The villagers, of course, never considered Alara for the role. Instead, they championed Celeste, who, despite her broken engagement with Eamon, remained the village's darling. One day, as Alara was gathering herbs by the river, she encountered a stranger named Arik, a young man with a mysterious air about him. He was kind and saw in Alara not the frail figure the villagers mocked, but a person of deep inner strength and beauty. They talked for hours, and before leaving, Arik revealed that he was the son of the High Druid, one of the leaders of the Great Alliance. He encouraged Alara to attend the festival and even hinted that she might have a greater role to play than she realized. Alara was hesitant, but something in Arik's words stirred a hope in her that she had long buried. She decided to attend the festival, not for the villagers, but for herself, to see if she could finally find her place in the world. The festival was a grand affair, with people from all over Elnara gathered in the village square. The competition for the Maiden of the Woods was fierce, with challenges that tested not just beauty, but also skill, intelligence, and character. Celeste, of course, was a favorite, dazzling the crowd with her charm and grace. When it came time for the final challenge, the task was to find and retrieve a rare flower that bloomed only once a century in the heart of the enchanted forest. The flower, known as the Star of Elnara, was said to be guarded by ancient spirits and could only be found by someone pure of heart and brave of spirit. The competitors were given until dawn to return with the flower. Ilara, determined to prove herself, entered the forest alongside Celeste and the other competitors. The forest was dark and filled with strange sounds, but Ilara was not afraid. She had spent her life among the trees and knew their secrets. She moved quietly, her knowledge of plants guiding her to the flower's hidden grove. Meanwhile, Celeste and the others struggled. The forest seemed to turn against them, with thorny vines blocking their paths and eerie whispers filling the air. Celeste, desperate to win, stumbled upon Ilara as she reached the grove where the star of Elnara bloomed. Seeing Ilara so close to victory enraged Celeste. In a fit of jealousy, she tried to sabotage Ilara, pushing her into the thorny underbrush. But as Ilara fell, the spirits of the forest, who had been watching, intervened. They recognized Ilara as one of their own, a kindred soul who had always respected the natural world. The vines that had been a barrier for others gently lifted Ilara back to her feet and guided her to the star of Elnara. She plucked the flower with care, its petals glowing softly in the moonlight. Celeste, witnessing this, was filled with fear and fled the forest, returning to the village empty-handed. Ilara, however, emerged from the trees at dawn, the star of Elnara in her hand. The villagers were astonished, and even Aemon, who had joined the festival reluctantly, could not believe his eyes. The High Druid, Aric's father, was present at the festival. He declared Ilara the true Maiden of the Woods, recognizing her as the rightful representative of Elnara. With the star of Elnara in her possession, Ilara was granted the honor of leading the kingdom's delegation to the Great Alliance, where her wisdom and kindness would help shape the future of the realm. The villagers, who had once mocked her, now showered Ilara with praise, though she accepted it with humility. Aemon, ashamed of how he had treated his sister, approached her with tears in his eyes, asking for forgiveness. Ilara, with her heart as pure as ever, embraced her brother, telling him that she had never stopped loving him, despite everything. Ilara's journey from outcast to hero taught the people of Elnara a valuable lesson. True beauty lies not in appearances but in the heart. Her story spread throughout the land, inspiring others to embrace their uniqueness and to find strength in their differences. And as the new Maiden of the Woods, Ilara used her position to bring peace and harmony to the kingdom, her once fragile figure now a symbol of resilience and inner strength. In the years that followed, Aemon and Ilara worked together to heal the rift that had formed between them, their bond stronger than ever. The kingdom of Elnara thrived under Ilara's gentle guidance, and she became a legend in her own time, a beacon of hope for all who felt different or out of place in the world. And so, the moral of the story remains timeless. It is not the judgment of others that defines us, but the strength and kindness we carry within ourselves. True beauty and worth come from embracing who we are, even when the world fails to see our value. Through forgiveness and love, even the deepest wounds can be healed, and a brighter future can be forged.